Hey everybody, welcome to third winter. We're here today.
It's a good callback.
Talking about a great movie. We got Oakley. We got Dane.
My name is Dan.
My name is Dan.
We got a Scott, we got a Schmied, and
Lieutenant
we got a Dan. We got Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
Yep.
And we got me.
And we got you.
Mm-hmm.
Ty.
And what's the synopsis without giving the title?
Okay, so we're going to be talking about a certain man who had to go through a lot in his life. He struggled. He had to fight for what he loved and what he cared for.
Yes.
He sacrificed much for himself, for his love, and for his country.
Yes.
And that man's name is
John Cena!
No, that's not his name.
His name is
Django.
Django. We were planning that today.
We've been playing that literally all day.
My heart rate does not need this.
Oh, sorry, we had to.
Of course.
I hope the post stuff looked good.
It's just a solid block on the waveform over there.
That's so true. And yes, we are watching, or we watched Django.
Django Unchained.
We watched Django.
I love Django Unchained
And this
so much.
Yeah, this is your favorite film.
It is definitely. Yeah. I can't say for sure that it's my favorite film because, you know, there's still Airplane.
Yeah. True.
And Kingsman Secret Service.
That's a great one.
But
I
in
actually
terms
really
of
like
like movies that are like relatively serious,
Django.
Django Unchained is my favorite.
that. Oh yeah,
I forgot how much I love this movie.
Same.
It is so good.
it's so good.
Dan, what's your thoughts on it? We've all watched it.
Yes,
more
we've all
than
watched
once.
this. This is my second time watching it.
I don't know how many times I watched it, but yes,
Oh, it's so good.
it is good. What specific? Oh, okay, I love it. You guys know that. It's not my favorite.
No.
But I am surprised on how close it came to being my favorite.
Yeah.
I like it better than Reservoir Dogs,
Mm-hmm.
which Reservoir Dogs kind of sat in that third spot for me behind Pulp Fiction and Inglourious. So we'll see by the end of this thing where we all rank. But yes, let's get your initial thoughts, or just your thoughts in general. We'll start with you, good old Danny boy, Lieutenant Dan.
Danny Boy.
I think this is honestly his most artistic film.
Really?
Yeah, so far anyway.
Why do you think it's his most artistic film?
I think it's like his most artistic in just the way that, well, in many ways.
Yeah.
One is the camera movement. It's kind of reminiscent of Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of just fast paced, kind of like just zoom in real quick.
Yeah.
And
There's no feet shots in this one, but
uh,
I don't think there is. Go on, sorry.
anyway, so I think it's definitely his most artistic with his camera movements
Yeah.
and with just certain shots that are just like really emotional, like impactful.
Yeah.
Like not emotionally like sad as now I'm gonna cry, but emotionally as in like holy shit, this is terrible.
Yeah. There was moments where I felt like the character, like I really got emotional with the characters. And Andrew, I just want to, like, how do you connect to these characters?
There's just something about it that made me like want to cheer for Django.
Yeah.
And when I recently watched an interview with Quentin Tarantino where he's talking about Django Unchained, and he said he wanted to make a Western film that had a hero for young black men.
Yeah.
Because not so much us, but like his generation growing up had all the Westerns to look up to. They had Clint Eastwood and all those other guys from all those things. Good, Bad, and Ugly is one of his like favorite films of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it's all white leads.
Western. Yeah, the spaghetti Western.
And so he wanted to make a movie that was a Western that gave young black men someone, maybe not to necessarily try and be like, because he's not necessarily
He's
like
not a great
the
person.
greatest person.
Yeah.
No.
But someone that they can cheer for.
He has very specific anger issues, Django.
Yes.
And he's just a little unhinged,
Mm-hmm.
but I love it.
He's a little unchained.
But one thing I think that's kind of cool though. Like, you know, he's kind of the Black Panther. You know, like how Black Panther, you know, was a superhero, literal superhero for young black males
Right.
growing up, even black women too, with like Shuri,
Oh, yeah.
Nyong'o. I forgot her character name, but like I never really thought of Django that way, although I was inspired by it in ways that I didn't ever think I would be, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and it's definitely not like a conscious racial theme.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Like, I mean, obviously it deals with slavery, but
Yeah,
slavery
slavery.
is more like the medium to tell the story rather than necessarily like a theme of it.
Absolutely.
And like something like Green Book, that was something that was definitely like, this is about racism and how bad it is.
Yeah.
And to make you kind of like, because I haven't really had any racism directed at me, so I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
And so it gave you the opportunity to like step in their shoes and see it.
Yeah. Especially if you've never really witnessed slavery happen or somebody be subject to that kind of prejudice. One thing I love about this film is, like I said, the characters, first off, but their journey that they go on and like how he deals with the flashbacks of Django's past and like the music and the stylistic choices. It's just very gut punching and emotional. And I didn't realize that, especially the one where he runs into the Schaefer brothers. I know they have a different name. I completely forgot the other name they use, but like his flashback and when his wife is getting beaten, beaten. Yes. Whipped. And, it was just like hit me hard. like I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. Like that was very emotional and it made me love this film so much more. Like this would have been ranking mid-tier for me, but now it's one of my favorite Tarantino movies.
And like that was one of the other things Tarantino talked about in that interview, is that scene in particular. I don't remember what other movie he's referencing, but there's a movie that gets into a similar situation where the freed slave is holding the whip and the slave masters are on the other side of it, but he decides to put the whip down because then he'll be just as bad as them, and he puts the whip down and like walks off.
Not Django.
And Quentin Tarantino's like, no, that's stupid. Like they deserve to get beat.
Yeah.
And they deserve to die.
Yeah. And there's not much I really don't like about this film. Do you guys have anything you
don't
dislike?
like about it?
Yeah.
No, not really.
I mean, I ask you this because the first time I watched it, Dr. King Schultz, his move towards the end to kill Calvin Candy, it felt like it came out of nowhere for me, like it wasn't set up. This time around it felt more natural, but did you guys have a similar feeling with
I actually
that,
kind of felt the same way. Like first, like looking back in my memory, it's like, why would this guy who's been controlled and calm the entire movie all of a sudden just kill him? But then like you watch it this time and you realize like you kind of understand his character more.
Yeah.
And like you understand that he's deeply offended him.
Oh yeah, it's funny because Django's the one that's calm, especially when they go to Candyland, and when like everybody's being racist, and like he offered Dr. King Schultz, he even like offered to pay the one guy's debt. I can't remember the slave that they were having fight. He was trying to escape, but he offered to pay, and Django's like, no, we're not doing that. You know, he was the one that was putting up the act. Well, Schultz could not do it, and so it made it more authentic for me this time around, where I didn't see it the first time.
I absolutely think that he was like trying to act calm the entire time, and like at some point he's just like, I can't do that. I can't do that anymore.
Exactly. And of course the magnificent performance by our good friend Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh man,
Leonardo DiCaprio is amazing in this movie.
It's so good.
I know Christoph Waltz won for this.
Yeah, Christoph Waltz is...
Leo was nominated too, though, wasn't he? Or can you only nominate one from a movie?
I think you can nominate as many.
Oh no,
as
you can
want.
nominate multiple. I'm pretty sure. But like, yeah, they were both amazing.
Do we like
Jamie Foxx did great too. Everybody did great.
It was really good.
Literally everyone gave a great performance.
Yeah.
So it was nominated for Best Picture, Best Cinematography, Best Screenplay, and Best Supporting Actor, and Sound Editing. So Christoph Waltz was the only one that won, and the screenplay as well. So, I mean, Christoph Waltz kind of became a household name after this one.
For like 2 years.
Yeah, and like he went 2 for 2 at the Oscars, and he's just like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Now he's doing Alita Battle Angel.
Was he in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how good
Well,
or
so
bad
he
that
did.
was.
He did Inglourious Bastards. He did
Yeah.
Django Unchained. Then he did 007 Spectre,
Okay, yeah.
and he's gonna be in Bond 25.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I don't know what else. I kind of hope he gets into another Tarantino movie because I really like his acting.
I do too. It's kind of like
And he knocks it out of the park in Tarantino movies. Tarantino knows how to use him.
Oh, he knows how to write to his strengths.
Mm-hmm.
And to be completely honest, I've never seen a film where I was so lost into the character from the performance of Jamie Foxx.
Mm-hmm.
Because like even like Baby Driver, which we've all seen, assuming, like I felt like he's just kind of. He was good, but he was just kind of over the top.
Or a movie that came out about the same time, Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, Jamie Foxx's character sucks.
Yeah. And
Dubstep Man.
it's true. I mean, that movie's just terrible anyways. But
Yeah.
and he's good in Baby Driver. And I haven't seen Ray, but he won the Oscar for that. And he is a good actor. I just haven't seen something that I've really just thought was amazing like this role was.
Mm-hmm.
And the style in this film is just great as well.
It's so good. Like,
It's like over the top, but in a totally good way.
Spaghetti Western. It's so good.
Oh, it's the blood in this movie is just so amazing.
Everywhere.
Say goodnight to Miss Laura. Good night, Miss Laura.
Bam.
She's gone.
I said, tell Miss Laura goodbye.
Bye, Miss Laura.
Like, it's not even the right angle for the
No.
gun.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Like, she would have just dropped if she actually got shot by that
But she
gun at
just-
that distance, but
She flew out the freaking room.
Everybody did. And I love the blood splatter. I love Steven too. Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yes.
He
Samuel Jackson's
freaking-
amazing in this
he
movie, too.
thrives in Tarantino movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, Samuel Jackson's good.
Yeah, he's
But-
fantastic.
I've always thought he was way better in Tarantino movies than anything else.
He really is.
I think Tarantino just kind of finds actors that he likes and then he keeps them around
Yeah.
because he knows how to work with them and how to get
Exactly.
a good performance
Except
out
for
of
John
them.
Travolta. But yes, any more thoughts on this before we give our one word to describe this masterclass of directing and filmmaking? I'm vamping just so you guys can.
Yeah, I
have
don't
some time
even
to
know
think.
anything besides just I love this movie so much.
I think that
That's good.
I want to talk about my favorite scene for 1 second.
Okay.
My favorite scene is when they're going for those brothers,
Yeah.
and then Hans Landa or or
Dr. King Schultz.
Dr. King Schultz shoots the guy out in the field as he's
Oh,
riding.
that was such
and
a
then it just blood
sprays
over the cotton.
That's one of the most memorable.
Oh,
scenes.
yeah, that shot. That's
so
cool.
good.
That's one of the most memorable scenes in the film, and the one where Django has the glasses and he has the cigarette thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
And
And
then-
after he blows up the house or whatever.
It's like
yeah, I love that.
so good.
Him dancing on the horse. That's so good.
The soundtrack's amazing, too.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is probably my favorite Tarantino movie soundtrack.
Because you really like the Django theme.
I really love the Django theme, but like Jim Croquet, oh my gosh, I Have a Name, and like
Who Did That to You is like one of my favorite songs from a movie ever.
yeah, like this whole soundtrack is just on point. I think this whole movie's on point, and it might be one of my movies that I would call a masterpiece. I can't really think of much wrong with it, to be completely honest. Maybe it goes a little long,
It's a bit long.
but
It's never boring, though.
yeah, it's never boring.
Never boring.
I think he takes his time telling the story, and he could have maybe cut a few minutes or so off it. I think he probably could have cut 10 minutes out of it, but overall, I think this is a damn good movie, and I would say it's a bloody
Good.
Tarantino masterpiece.
Mine's gonna have to be a Beastie Boys reference.
Oh,
That it's like Buddy Rich when he flies off the handle.
I'm going to say mine is Too Many Smoked Cigars.
okay. Actually, I'm gonna change
That
mine.
almost sounds like a negative thing, though.
No, it does. It does.
Just
too many, as in
Just many
two,
smoked
as in
cigars.
positive. Many.
Many smoked Cubans.
Many smoked Cubans. There you go.
Okay, I'm confused. Are the bags on or off?
I'm gonna change mine to Django.
Django.
Okay.
That awkward pause is what I thrive on.
Gosh.
But yes, thank you for watching. We just
You're
did
welcome.
Inglourious Bastards. You can check that out somewhere. You can look at we have other stuff as well coming. Hateful Eight, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a
Is
Time
coming
in
out.
the West.
Yes, that's coming out this weekend. We are we're
Mine in the West.
really struggling for time right now.
Loveless. Jim West.
But we will do a spoiler review on that. But yes, Dan_Beowulf
On Instagram.
like the epic poem.
And
Stole it.
and then Dan_the Swede.
The Swede.
On Twitter.
And then Tyler_.
There's no underscores. And
Tyler
it's not
107.
Tyler. It's Ty Andrew.
Ty Andrew.
107.
Damn it. And then mine is Oakley V Cinema on Instagram and my YouTube channel, Oakley V Cinema, where I do movie reviews of my own liking. And thank you.
You're welcome.
And don't forget to scream out John Cena whenever you see somebody.